on the Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published by the Department of Justice?
I didn't. I have a lot of things I'm doing.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
The fact that they thought they released too much. I heard that. I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else.
What did you say to the survivors who feel like they haven't gotten
justice? You are
justice?
the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face.
I'm asking you about survivors.
You know why? You know why you're not?
Watching this exchange felt like witnessing the mechanics of abuse in real time. It wasn't just ugly, it's actually instructive. So what you're watching in this exchange between Kaitlan Collins from CNN and the President Trump is called DARVO, which is a well-documented response when someone is confronted about abuse that they are accused of. It stands for deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. This is when a person refuses to accept responsibility for that abuse, attacks the person who raised it, and then reframes themselves as the one being wronged. Kaitlan Collins asked a question about justice for survivors of sexual abuse. The response wasn't even an answer. It was an immediate dismissal and then a personal insult. The abuse was denied. Kaitlan was attacked, and suddenly the person in power became the victim. Notice, too, who was targeted. A woman asking about abuse. This is the same pattern that protected Epstein for years. Abuse doesn't survive in silence alone. It needs power to protect itself. Our role is to notice this pattern and to refuse to accept it. We need to keep our attention on the abuse, not the spectacle, and to stay anchored in what survivors are actually asking for. Thank you to Kaitlan Collins for standing front and center for survivors in the Oval Office. We at the Prosecutor Alliance echo survivors' calls for more transparency, and we're outraged by how many identifying details of victims were included in the most recent release. We are not going to be moving on.